An American-born man who pledged allegiance to ISIS gunned down 49 people early Sunday at a gay nightclub in Orlando, the deadliest mass shooting in the United States and the nation's worst terror attack since 9/11, authorities said. Mateen carried an assault rifle and a pistol into the packed Pulse Club about 2 a.m. Sunday and started shooting, killing 49 people and wounding at least 53, officials said. After a standoff of about 3 hours, while people trapped inside the club desperately called and massaged friends and relatives, police crashed into the building with an armored vehicle and stun grenades and killed Mateen. It appears he was organized and well prepared, Orlando Police Chief John Mina said early Sunday. Authorities said they haven't found any accomplices. There has been no claim of responsibility for the attack on jihadi forums, but ISIS sympathizers have reacted by praising the attack on pro-Islamic State forums. We know enough to say this was an act of terror and act of hate, President Obama said in an address to the nation from the White House. While the violence could have hit any American community, this is an especially heartbreaking day for our friends who are lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender, he said. Timeline of Orlando nightclub shooting. Omar Mateen was born in 1986 in New York. Most recently he lived in Fort Pierce, about 120 miles southeast of Orlando. Fearing explosives, police evacuated about 200 people from the apartment complex where he lived while they looked through his residence for evidence. Mateen's parents, who are from Afghanistan, said he'd expressed outrage after seeing 2 men kiss in Miami, but they didn't consider him particularly religious and didn't know of any connection he had to ISIS. He was married in 2009 to a woman originally from Uzbekistan, according to the marriage license, but he filed documents to end the marriage in 2011. Sidra Yusufi, interviewed by CNN in Boulder, Colorado, said she and Mateen were together about 4 months, though it took a long time to complete the divorce because they lived in different parts of the country after separating. Mateen was a normal husband at the beginning of their marriage, but started abusing her after a few months, she said. She said Mateen was bipolar, although he was not formally diagnosed. She also said Mateen had a history with steroids. He was religious, but she said she doesn't think his religion played into the attack. Mateen had worked since 2007 as a security officer at G4S Secure Solutions, one of the world's largest private security companies. A message posted in Arabic on the dark website associated with the ISIS news agency Amaq said the armed attack that targeted a gay nightclub in the city of Orlando in the American state of Florida and that bore more than 100 killed and wounded was carried out by an Islamic State fighter. But CNN's Zalma Abdelaziz, who translated the message and closely monitors ISIS messaging, cautioned about taking the message at face value. She said the language is inconsistent with previous ISIS announcements and that the Arabic word for gay was used rather than an epithet normally used by ISIS. Also, there was no claim that the attack was directed, just an after-the-fact claim the gunman was an ISIS fighter, she said. At a Sunday afternoon news briefing, FBI Assistant Special Agent Ronald Hopper said the agency was aware of Mateen. The FBI interviewed him in 2013 and 2014 after he expressed sympathy for a suicide bomber, Hopper said. Those interviews turned out to be inconclusive, so there was nothing to keep the investigation going, Hopper said. Mateen was not under investigation at the time of Sunday's shooting and was not under surveillance, Hopper said. In the past 2 weeks Mateen legally purchased a Glock pistol and a long gun, ATF Assistant Special Agent in Charge Trevor Velliner told reporters. It's not known if those weapons were used in the attack. He is not a prohibited person. They can legally walk into a gun dealership and acquire and purchase firearms. He did so. And he did so within the last week or so, Velliner said.